Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another video from Overbite Gaming. Well, this is less of a video and more of a podcast because that's what the fuck it is. So, I am the Majestic Snare without a face. Welcome, hello, and I'm joined by my cohort in craziness, the detritus of Denzials. It was going so well. Just say your name, Lee.
Oh, you've just said my name.
Well, now you get to say it.
I'm Lee. That
was so typical Lee. Right, so today we're doing a podcast because we can't be asked to make a proper video like proper people. Let's be honest. And for both of you that are watching this, welcome. Hello. Say hello down in the comments.
Hello, Mum.
So we thought we'd do a bit of a podcast today because there's plenty of bits and bobs to talk about. And this is being recorded on a Tuesday before it goes live on a Saturday. So if anything's popped up between then, don't expect us to have any knowledge of it because, you know, it won't have happened yet. The magic of editing. Not that I'll be doing any. Anyway, so Lee, should we get things underway and christen this podcast?
Indeed we shall.
Go for it. Right, so we can talk about shit. It's legal. So first things first, let's get the big news out of the way.
Oh, yes.
Go for it.
They has announced the PlayStation 5.
Or they kind of have, haven't they?
Well, yeah, they've given us some details.
They've said it's coming.
And it will have a Radeon graphics card. It will be more powerful than current PC graphic cards, which I'll hold off before celebrating that.
Yeah, but if we don't see it for like fucking 2 years, it's not really going to be. Because it's not coming out this year, is it?
No, it won't be this year. It looks like it might be next year, but when next year is... Well, it's up in the air, isn't it? Also has an SSD in it.
Yeah, well, most of them do have an SSD, so yeah.
Oh, no. No. Only if you put them in third party. Neither Sony or Microsoft currently provides an SSD out the box.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm mistaking it for a PC.
Yes.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I mean, I've always been a fan of Sony's consoles, and if they keep up the way they were doing with the last generation or the current generation, they're onto a good thing. I mean, look how much they turned things around from the PS3 to PS4.
Well, to be honest, whenever they announce a new PlayStation, it's just like getting hit in the stomach. Because, like, I'm not really interested in buying a new Xbox because I know the games will probably be on PC. PC games, yeah, okay, I've got an aging graphics card. I'm running a vanilla 980.
Yeah, me too.
So it's not like the best of the best. But you know what? That just means I just knock it down from very high to high and it works fine. But with a PlayStation game, because they do have exclusives, that means I need to buy the new fucking console. And if it's going to have a hot graphics card and an SSD, I imagine it's going to be quite expensive.
Well, it might be, but they have to remember, you know, who they're actually gaming or aiming the gaming machine at. And that is probably that kind of medium level, semi-cash, but likes to play a lot of video games kind of person that doesn't want to spend their time tweaking a PC.
Well, I imagine that the PlayStation Pro and the Xbox One X was kind of them dipping their toe in the water if they get away with a more pricey console, and they have. So,
but to be fair, if it looks nice, plays nice, and has good support, I think it'll do really well. I mean, let's be honest, the last 12 months of Sony have been fantastic in terms of the games that we've seen, like Spider-Man and God of War. Those have all been fantastic products that have come out from the kind of Sony cycle.
Well, Sony have won this on the back of their exclusives this season. That's without question. What remains to be seen is whether they'll flip-flop again and become complacent, because obviously they won the PS2 and Xbox original. They won that, and then they kind of went, oh, we want to be the centerpiece of your home media experience, and with the PlayStation 3 against the 360 and lost that. And now this time around, Xbox have made that mistake. So whether or not they'll flip-flop back and do something stupid,
I don't think they will, though. I mean, to be absolutely fair, what they've got now is they have Game of the Year from their platform, like God of War and shit. You know,
well, Spider-Man, according to us.
Well, yeah, but they've got some fantastic instant feedback in the current generation, which you wouldn't have had back in PS3 days, really. And that was in its infancy. And even before that, PS2 was aimed to be some kind of centerpiece. And that didn't really come to effect either, although it was, you know, everyone I knew used it as a DVD player because it was cheap. But yeah, I think they'll be able to see the feedback from the fans, the gamers, the awards, and actually go, do you know what? This is actually good. This is what we should do. Focus on games again. That worked for us last time.
Yeah, and apparently it's going to be backwards compatible as well to the PS4.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah, that's a really good thing because it stops the. I mean, I had a big problem when we were going from 3 to 4 that I got halfway through Last of Us and then didn't actually end up finishing it because I had a shiny new console to use, and I still haven't finished it.
Should have just bought the PS4 edition.
Well, I did because it was free.
Oh, there you go
then. Actually, did I? Yes, I think I did. Yeah, so I did get it, but then again, that was the time when I started playing more on my PC. So,
yeah, I became a grown-up.
So, yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with it, and I reckon they'll probably ditch the number system now. I reckon they'll call it something funky.
Oh, I don't like that. I'd rather it just be numbered.
It is easier, yeah, but I think PS2 had a nice ring to it. PS3 was a little bit. PS4, ended up sometimes just people started calling it PS, and then you'd be like, "Oh, what? What are you doing?"
Well, it's PS. PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4. It's just nice and simple. Where you look at Xbox, fucking hell, you got Xbox, Xbox One, Xbox One X, Xbox One S.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Well, they have to keep shouting like that in capitals because no one's actually buying their fucking console anymore.
No, despite the fact they've also come out and said their next Xbox is going to be more powerful than the PlayStation 5.
Well, prove it then.
Well, that's the problem when you announce first. They're obviously going to say, well, if we squeeze like 10 more hertz out of the graphics card, then we can officially say we're more powerful.
Yeah.
So we'll just tweak it, you know.
Well, that's what PS3 did, wasn't it? When they had their, we've got a much more powerful processor, but no one knew how to code for it. So it was
the cell processor, wasn't it?
Yeah, the 8-core cell processor. It's ridiculous. But I do think that, it's all going to come down to games. It's all going to come down to whether we like what they put out and what they work with Santa Monica and others to bring out and produce decent games. There can't be too much you can do in that space. I mean, they brought in the sharing and the Twitch kind of collaboration. That was quite a good thing for the PS4. I did use that a little bit.
They are still going to stand by PSVR as well, even though it's not done as well as they hoped it would.
Yeah, but there's always going to be niche. I mean, I can't remember the last time I actually picked up my Oculus.
No, I haven't played mine in a while either. But I will occasionally have a day when I just spend all my time on it. You're like,
yeah, you have a bit of a binge, see what's changed and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't think you've even used it since they introduced your room now, because you can have a room that you can customize and shit.
Yeah, I've seen that
and play around in.
But they still need to sort out the whole Netflix thing. I would use it a lot more if I had that. Yeah,
the Netflix on the fucking Gear VR was amazing.
Yeah, it was just perfect. Like sit in a cinema and there it is. Great, get more of that, please.
I mean, you can do it, but basically you have to use a third-party thing to do a virtual desktop kind of deal.
Yeah, it's not the same, though. I mean, I like the idea of sitting in a cinema or at a drive-through type thing. That was kind of cool.
You can still do that. You just need to. It's basically just a big screen that sort of emulates your desktop, and then you can put Netflix on via your internet browser.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't want to fuck about with. I want something that's built for me. If I can have it on the Gear, why can't I have it on the Oculus? It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, that was annoying. It was like when I got the Gear first, obviously, and I bought some stuff on there, and then I got the actual full Oculus, and none of your purchases carry over, and you just buy it again. Fuck off.
Yeah, it's just annoying. I mean, the VR in general, I think with PS5, it might have a bit of resurgence for interested people if they do it as a bundle and stuff like that. But I wonder if, because to be honest, most of the fun games I've seen are on PSVR.
I don't know. I think there's still a lot of fun games to play on Oculus. I mean, you've got the Bethesda stuff works on Oculus. It's not perfect by any means, but you've got Euro Truck Simulator. You've got Elite Dangerous. Those all work perfectly. You've got X3, I think it is, or is it 4. I can't remember. This the spacey one.
Mm-hmm.
Super hot works really well, even if it is fucking knackering.
Yeah, for me, I don't really have too much room where I actually have one set up. So
Yeah, you need to be like fucking doing gun fu and shit, like in what's it called? That shitty movie that is
Equilibrium.
Terrible. That's the one.
It's gun kata actually. So get it right if you're gonna take the piss.
Yes, and their arms make swoosh noises.
And they also move really quickly and go into strange shapes. Statistically, less likely to be shot. That's what it is.
Despite standing in like a circle of bad guys shooting at him, he just swooshes his arms and doesn't actually move.
It's cinema and magic, so leave it out. But we're not here to talk about Equilibrium as much as I'd like to. We're here to talk about gaming shit.
Gaming shit.
So, I suppose what we could do is talk about a couple of nuggets that we found on Steam recently, because there's one I wanted to talk about.
Nuggets.
Nuggets. That is, I don't know if everybody out there, or both of you, have ever played One Finger Death Punch. It's a clicker game, stickman, kung fu, character in the middle, 2 mouse buttons to hit either side. It's a rhythm clicker game, but it gets insanely quick and insanely fun and addictive. And they brought out a sequel, and it's well put together, looks good, plays great. Really enjoying it as a nice kind of like, I can't be asked to get stuck into a big game. I'll just stick that on for 10 minutes, and 3 hours later, you're like, okay, I better go eat now. So, much recommended. I might even do a video on it in the future.
Okay. For me, I've gotten into modding Resident Evil 2 Remake.
I saw a great video on this, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah. They've basically replaced the characters with the 2 guys from San Andreas. So Mr. X, whatever his name is, the big dude.
Yeah.
He's the guy with the bowler hat from San Andreas. What's your mate's name? Like,
is that Big Smoke?
Big Smoke, that's him. Yeah, Big Smoke. So he's basically like doing the whole actions of a pillar falling on him, and he picks it up and he walks over to your character and then gives you a slap down. But it's quite clearly Resident Evil in a Resident Evil setting, but with GTA characters. It's very clever.
No, I solved the Mr. X problem, you see, by modding it. The whole him being a fucking nuisance. You could take him out completely, which I was like, I don't really fancy that. So I just made it so he didn't attack me.
Oh, so he just walks up to you and gives you a hug.
He just like walks up to me and looks at me and then wanders off again. Mind you, considering what I've done to Claire, I'd walk up to me and look at me too.
God, please don't make a video on that. We'll get banned.
Yeah, we certainly would.
Oh, shit. And what does your girlfriend think of this?
Yeah, like she knows. Like I told the story about the first time she ever played Skyrim.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
so
that
she
was
would
bad.
not be surprised.
Yeah. That's probably not suitable for the podcast either, to be fair. But yeah, so getting into modding of Resident Evil 2. That's cool.
Yeah, there's some really good ones on there, and not just like perverse ones, which obviously I've downloaded them all. But you've got like ones that you can swap characters around, so you actually play as Ada like throughout the game, rather than just having her as a background character. I did like on the back of this, I'm like working my way through my second playthrough, which I didn't actually finish like ever because Mr. X turned up far too early and started annoying me a lot. But I've just got to the bit where you're the little girl and it's driving me nuts and I don't like it.
Yeah, I remember that being annoying from the first time around. Yeah, have you seen those videos where they up the movement of the face and stuff?
Oh yeah, well they've just like expanded it by like 500%. They did the burger guy, didn't they?
Guys, you have to check this out if you haven't already. Just you can find like Resident Evil face animation 500%, and it is fucking horrifying. Some of the results.
Yeah, it just like it increases the sort of mobility or something, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like the range of motion. Yeah.
Oh, it's awful. Mind you, that burger just amazes me every time I see it.
Yeah,
even without
it's
like,
good.
it's just like I'm just like I want that burger.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that we're not far off from having something that's completely and utterly. We're always going to have that uncanny valley proportion, but their attempts recently have been great, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely coming a long way. We're inching closer and closer, but there's always something that's just not quite right, whether it's the texture of the skin or the way the face sort of animates.
Yeah.
Not sure. But we are definitely getting a lot closer, and that's going to make porn very interesting.
Well, it's going to be interesting how it starts to become. You might have a game that you play today that would be effectively rated a certain way, and then if it becomes more photorealistic, then that changes how impactful that censorship has to be. With the ratings.
It's kind of a circular argument though, because like the first GTA, they complain, oh, people are going to go run over people because these like really pixelated cars are running over people. It's the same argument, but it looks like a real car now, and you're just like, you can't argue any more than you have. So what's the point?
Yeah, I think the biggest problem with the first one, Lee, wasn't the fact of people running over people. It was the fact you could pull up, get a prostitute in your car, have sex with her, then kill her. That's where the big controversy came from.
I don't see the problem with that.
Wow, that escalated quickly. Yeah, that's where the controversy came from. It was the fact that you could do things like that, and it was like you were rewarded because you got some cash out of her.
Well, it was your cash.
You never got all your cash back, though. I remember.
No, is that?
So I did it. I've never killed a prostitute, so...
Neither have I.
Yeah, moving on. But yeah, I think we'll see something change there with because it's going to have to happen. I mean, it's like in the 1920s, you'd have a film, silent movie, and no one really cared about it. But then it became more and more popular. More people got involved with films,
and then all of a sudden, you could start seeing her ankles.
Exactly, and it was like, oh, the travesty. But I think that's the kind of thing that will happen with video games as we get closer to that photorealistic. I mean, there's some things I've seen, some of the game engine videos on YouTube of people working with new game engine stuff and ideas and whole systems that they can produce amazing stuff in real time. I mean, there's one. Yeah. Have you seen the one with the kind of like rocky landscape?
Yeah.
I think that's an Unreal engine. But I think it's pretty much rendered real time, and it's an actual environment they were zooming around in. But the textures were fantastic, the lighting was fantastic, and it's the kind of thing that you could say it would be used in a game.
Yeah, but we get this all the time. We get these wonderful tech demos, and they never get implemented into games in the same form. I mean, do you remember like that? What was it that like wizard guy that they did like?
Oh, the sorcerer. Yeah,
the sorcerer. Yeah, it's like we've not seen anything of that quality yet.
Well, that basically that tech demo, wasn't it done by Quantic Dream?
Yes, I think it might have been. Yeah,
yeah, and that's what we got in Beyond Two Souls, the most recent one, Detroit. Yeah,
yeah, but it wasn't that good.
It was still pretty strong.
It was good, yeah, but it wasn't as good as that.
No, but what I'm saying is, I think
it was sufficient enough to get me interested in Minka Kelly.
But it's aren't they doing an actual spin-off of the Kara thing, the robot? Anyway, it wasn't Detroit. Don't know if it was or not. So
no, I don't know.
Maybe it was Detroit.
Yeah, it's the same. What the fudge?
What,
sorry,
fudge?
I'm just
fudge.
I'm distracted. I've got Steam open, and it's on Mortal Kombat 11 on my Steam page, but the image behind it is from a completely different game. I think it's some sort of game tycoon game, which is weird. Sorry, that was completely off topic. I happened to chance upon it.
That's fine. You ruined my train of thought, but never mind. It wasn't that good.
Ooh, it's got Steam Workshop support though, boys and girls. Yay!
Someone recommended a game for you the other day. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it's called like Booby War or something. And I was like, yeah, Lee'll probably like that.
Booby War.
I can't remember what it was. There's a guy contacted me on Steam. Yeah, I'll have to look it up for you. But yeah, it's the kind of dirty. Oh, you actually it's got booby in the title apparently. Booby cards, booby war, booby something.
Booby Beach, Booby Towels,
No.
Milky Boobs,
I can't believe there's this fucking game called Milky Boobs.
Booby Basketball.
No. I'll have to find it and let you know. But we're not going to spend the podcast talking about boobs.
Oh, there's images.
Oh, God, I've lost him. I've lost him, everyone. That's it. Podcast over.
The PS4's boobiest game just revealed by the Daily Star. This is coming from a tremendous hack paper in this country. And it is...
Can't even call it paper, can you?
It's PlayStation VR as well. And it is Dead or Alive Xtreme 3. Is it the... Yeah, yes, it's the beach volleyball one.
Okay.
But in VR.
I really just don't like the fact that I actually told you, because now we're going to spend another 15 minutes talking about booby games.
Gosh, she's stacked.
I literally have lost you, haven't I?
What? Sorry. Hey, who are you?
What am I doing here?
Anyway, let's get this back on track and talk about a game that I'm quite excited for.
Please tell me it hasn't got boobs in it.
It may have. I haven't played it yet.
Go on then.
And that is Rebel Galaxy Outlaw.
Woohoo!
We've just had a stream of about 3 hours. It's up on YouTube if you want to watch it. And
not from us, obviously.
Not from us. No. From the developers wearing a stupid Hello Kitty hat. Well, look at them. But it looks good. It's not in VR, which would have been nice, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, I love the original Rebel Galaxy, especially because the soundtrack, it just had a fucking amazing soundtrack. Really good. And from the stream, this seems to have an amazing soundtrack too. So I'm all up for some space dogfighty, capital shippy action with a banging soundtrack going on that dynamically changes with the game. So yeah,
Interesting fact is, whenever I'm editing a video, Rebel Galaxy Let's Play was the one we did on our channel, is the file that I actually start amending when I start doing my edit. So every file I have to change from Rebel Galaxy LP to the new export name. And so there you go, little behind the scenes for you guys that have stuck with us for the last 20 minutes.
Oh yes, I did the same until I realized I was using a Fahrenheit Let's Play that had a record scratch sound effect in. Where I was editing it so far out, I couldn't fucking see it. So for about 3 videos, there's a random record scratch in it.
And nobody watched.
Yeah, no one noticed. Fuck it.
Well, talking of just people watching and stuff, our good friend Ranton isn't making videos at the moment.
No, I hadn't seen any videos from him, and then
about 2 months now.
On. Yeah, which is, I was like, "What's going on?" He's doing really well, and then you've obviously clued me in on WhatsApp. So would you like to clue in the audience of
both
those
of
people?
them? Yeah. So basically, as far as I understand it, I obviously noticed that Ranton's videos weren't coming out, and had a look on his YouTube page. There's nothing on there. Checked Twitter and found that he was basically kind of saying that he doesn't want to be making videos like that anymore. I think, personally, the last thing I saw was him talking about doing an Anthem review. So I think EA is to blame.
I think Anthem has broken him.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, as with any YouTuber you speak to of any length of time or any level of success, there's 2 factors involved. That's I've got to do more, I've got to be better, and the other thing is just the burnout. And I think Ranton might be experiencing some burnout. He hasn't said he was going to stop doing YouTube, but this is a guy that, was a comparable level of subscribers to us for a little while, maybe about 2 years ago. But then since then has literally erupted into hundreds of thousands. I think it's 234,000 subscribers he's got now. And he wants to do other things and do YouTube still, but he hasn't worked out what he wants to do yet. But I guess the amount of editing that he put into his videos is a lot of work. So if you're suffering with anything, Ranton, and you might be watching this, then big love up from the OBG guys. So yeah, I'm thumping my heart in solidarity.
Yeah, he'll still get my £5 a month. Don't worry about that.
But that's another thing. I mean, maybe the financial pressure of I've got to do this, and he's probably worried about Patreon. So, it's all a horrible spiral if you're in that sort of space where you don't want to be doing the thing you're famous for, and people are just crying out for you to do more. It's difficult.
Yeah, but Also, if you look at his videos, I bet you probably the most watched video he's got is his Life at the Shaolin Temple one.
I think it is. I think that's got a couple of million.
Yeah.
But the one that really sparked off his fame was in Assassin's Creed Origins review.
Yeah, we were already well into him at that point. We were OG.
We were
Ranton.
Yeah, but I mean, best of luck to him, whatever he chooses to do next. He's a lovely guy. You should go and check him out. Just Ranton, Ranton on YouTube. Just go and give him some love. Like he needs it from us, for fuck's sake. Both of you, go and subscribe to him.
Isn't it? Ranton. Like that.
Well done. I even bought his t-shirt.
Yeah.
I have it just over there on my couch.
I didn't. I just fund his bills every month.
So, yeah, it's just a kind of a sad thing because I think we've been doing this. We didn't even do a 4-year anniversary video, did we?
Didn't we?
I don't think we did.
Have we been 4 years? I thought we'd only been 3.
It was February.
Time flies.
We started in 2015, so this is like into our 5th year now.
Well, I think the last one went... Well, what was the last one we did? Because we did a giveaway and someone won it and we're like, yeah, tell us what you want. Nothing.
No, they told... Right. I think they tried to tell us, but then in the meantime of us giving out that prize, they shut off comments on your channel. Yeah,
but they're back now, so tell us what you want.
Oh, are they back? Oh, I didn't realise.
I think you can... Well, you can at least message. I mean, we got a Twitter handle. I mean, I never fucking look at it, but...
Well, no, if you are... oh, God, what was it? Lupin something.
Wasn't it like Emerald something? It was like a...
Well, we're not going to give out the name here, but if you're the person that did win the giveaway... we
still owe you a fucking game.
We owe you a game, and we haven't been that good at tracking you down. But then again, you were getting something for free, so fuck it. But at the end of the day, if we can sort something out, let's try and track you down.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've messaged him a couple of times and I haven't got a response, but I don't know sort of how YouTube's messaging really works.
No, well, we can try and find it, but yeah, that was the reason. But
I think I've responded to his comment. Sorry, not messaged him.
Yeah, maybe it's easier or less easy to see. But yeah, that was the point about Ranton. I hope we get to see some more stuff from him. He's a good content creator. He's one of the refreshing types on YouTube for gaming. And, you know, gaming videos on YouTube is kind of a dying thing. It's useful but I think most people get crowded out by the big chaps. So it's difficult to... I mean, we both know it's difficult to get people to see the videos.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, Ranton just exploded, basically, and it was his weird humor. I think that's what did it. I think once people sort of watched his videos, they were sort of taken in by his weird humor and sort of gross out antics and just the energy he fucking had. So I can see someone getting burned out when you put that much fucking effort, not just in the edit, but in the actual on-camera performance as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he seems to be good friends with Layman Gaming as well. I've seen them comment on his videos a few times.
Yeah, which one?
Don't think they said.
The good one or the Lee?
I like the way you said that. That's nice. I like it. But I don't know which one it was.
It's Ralph and Lee.
Is it really Lee?
No,
you
it's
look
not
at
Lee.
disease.
But he's kind of like the Lee. He's like the other Joe.
I wouldn't be that harsh to you. You're definitely not another Joe.
Yeah.
You don't just sit there and go because other Joe is just insufferable. I can't stand him.
No, I don't do my Richard impressions very often.
No, but you actually have an opinion, and it's a little bit more than it's definitely a lot more than he's got.
Yeah,
you seem to just whatever Joe says, he's like, "Oh yeah, Joe, you're so funny. I love you."
Maybe I'm the Mike Matai.
That's more like it. Yeah.
I find him teeth grindingly annoying, so that sounds about right.
That's why it's perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't want to talk too much about Ranton. It's not a Ranton podcast, but you know, if he ever wants us on there, we're always free. So
to talk about not gaming
and destroy your audience. So what other games? So I did a small review / let's play of WeCraft Inc. as well.
Yes, I went and purchased it off the back of that.
Hooray! My work is done.
Yay.
I'm a massive fan of Devolver Digital. I think most of the time,
I thought you were going to say weed.
well, there's that too. I don't smoke it though. I vape it instead. I've actually got some CBD vape juice somewhere. Anyway,
Oh, that's supposed to be super good for you.
well, yeah, I've been taking the capsules for a while, but it's not quite the same. Jesus Christ, I must be talking too much. I still got my can here.
Well, I'd wait an extra hour to start drinking while you were messing around.
That's true. That's true. Catch up time. But yeah, so this game WeCraft Inc. Check it out on the channel. Did a review of it. It's a very nice kind of, oh god, how do you classify it? More like a real time resource management sim.
Yeah, it's a little bit like a clicker.
Or a 4X clicker. Yeah. Well, it starts off that way, but it doesn't stay that way.
No, there's a lot more strategy than just a regular clicker. It's kind of like what was it, Honey Studios that I did? It's a little bit like that, but with less bondage.
Yes, definitely less bondage.
And butt plugs.
There's good points and bad points, but I think was it 13 quid on Steam? It's definitely worth a shot if you've got a spec.
I got it for less. It was on offer because it had just come out when I purchased it. So you're all fucked now.
Well, there you go. But it's worth a look. It's definitely something that because of Devolver Digital, most games they bring out, I'm definitely going to look at and be interested in. They have they have a real good sense and a good nose for, well, actually good ear for great score and music in games, and that's one of the things I always love about their stuff. Whoever they're working with, there's normally a fantastic score on the game or a fantastic kind of feeling and atmosphere around the game. No matter what kind of style it is, there are all kinds of styles coming through. You remember? Did I ever tell you about the Red Strings Club?
Yes, you did. The point and click adventure game.
Yeah, but it was kind of less of a point and click, but it was
it's
a bartending game.
You mix cocktails to get people to tell you stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. You kind of make it into a way to affect their emotions and mood, and it was just like a lovely kind of. It was effectively like a pixelated-ish point and click, but it was so full of substance. And I sent a message to Devolver Digital and said, "Can you pass on my thanks? Great game. One of the most refreshing experiences I've had for a long time. Please tell the developers, good job." And they sent it on, and I got some back saying thank you. And they're really happy that I enjoyed it. So
yeah, I think we've mentioned that before because I said I was going to send EA.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I never did. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Well, I'm just waiting for your email to Ubisoft because you love them now.
Oh, that's strong.
Compared to what your previous feelings were for them, I think it's love. I think you're going to get married.
They've had a string of good games, Imagine that when they stop fucking doing the same thing over and over and actually innovate on their fucking products. I actually start liking it again. Imagine. But
they've been back in the news recently. Did you see it on BBC? That following the fire in Notre Dame, gamers are using Assassin's Creed to go and visit the cathedral.
Oh yeah, weren't they going to use the scans they took as well to rebuild it or something?
Yep. And I think Ubisoft themselves have donated something like, I think it might be a huge amount of money towards Notre Dame, being a French company. It might be a big chunk.
I've heard they've got over $1 billion.
They got
not from Ubisoft exclusively, but overall, because you've had a lot of very well-off billionaires donating 100 million and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I think Ubisoft might have done a stupid amount, like 500 million or 50 million or something. Which is crazy when you think about it.
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of of mixed opinions. I think there's better uses for that money, but I can, I understand. I'm not saying it's not a shame that a landmark like that has been destroyed. I mean, but they got the art out. No one was killed. I'm kind of there's better things to do with that money.
Well, a lot of people have put it to not to get too political on our channel, but in the UK we had the massive fire at Grenfell, the block of flats, killed, was it 60 people?
Yeah.
And that hasn't had nowhere near a quarter of the money that's been sent to Notre Dame.
No.
So it's interesting.
And let's face it, it's a church. The Vatican's got fucking so much money. Let those fuckers pay for it. You don't want to get in there, do you? I can tell.
Well, no, I'm just trying to find the news story because I can't use my PC while we're recording because it goes funny. But yeah, it's from what I read, it was a large sum of money coming directly from Ubisoft, and so it's a tragedy that it came down. But most of the stuff isn't actually that old as the other parts of the cathedral. But I think it's a really nice touch about the fact that because we've got all the scans used for video games, it's being put to good use to rebuild the cathedral. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, well, it depends. I mean, now they've got so much money, they might be like, well, we could rebuild the cathedral or do
Swimming pool,
casino.
Well, to be fair, there's already a little Paris in Vegas, so it's not far off.
Why can't we just move that one across? That'd be cheaper.
They got a smaller sized Eiffel Tower in Vegas.
Yes, I've been to the Eiffel Tower actually. There you go.
Oh.
I know culture. I was not allowed to go past the first level though. It was all like closed off upstairs. So I'm like, yeah, this is shit.
Yeah, it doesn't stop most people.
But got an American werewolf in Paris, so you can bungee jump off of.
Interesting fact: if you want to win a pub quiz, the Eiffel Tower hasn't been painted since it was built, because by the time they finish painting it, they have to start at the bottom again. Honest truth, because there's so much to do.
Who cares? It was destroyed in G.I. Joe anyway.
It takes them like 10 years to paint it, and then when they finish, they have to repaint the parts they started with 10 years ago.
See, like, you don't have that problem with Blackpool Tower, do you?
No, because it's a shithole. I mean, as a tower, I'm not saying the place is a shithole for anyone that is from Blackpool.
I hear they have good fish and chips.
Yeah, and violent seagulls, I think.
Have you ever met an unviolent seagull?
Oh no, but I've seen a few videos of them like planning their attack. They're clever fuckers.
Yeah, they're also really big and really vicious. So fuck you, seagulls.
Well, we're from a kind of a coastal town, you might want to call that, and you could quite often see seagulls doing the worm dance in the rain. Where they basically, when the birds stand on the ground and they dance up and down, they flap their feet on the floor to make the worms think it is raining when it's not actually raining, and then they come up to get the rain, and then that's when they nab them. So
my friend Tash, she and her other half bought a flat, and they were smokers, they're vapors now.
Yeah.
They go out on their balcony to have a fag or what have you, and like there's this basically a seagull that's like, no, it's my fucking balcony, you bitches.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Every time they go out, you'd go fucking mental at them.
Yeah. I have no time for seagulls. They make too much noise. They're too big. Should be out fishing.
They don't have rods.
They might do. Depends how excitable they are.
How have we got into seagull erections, for fuck's sake?
I don't know, but that's the beauty of our channel, mate.
What, seagull erections?
Yeah, that's going to go as a tag.
You need to update Bitey.
Oh, God. Bitey and seagull erections is not a good mix. It's a whole different channel.
Yes, that redefines chip beef.
Yeah. So how can we get back to games? So what other games of note do you want to mention? Got any?
Well, I'm interested in Days Gone By.
The new zombie survival horde looking thing.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the Sons of Anarchy game I've always wanted.
Oh, you just literally dropped off. Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Yeah, you cut off
You can't get rid of me that easily, fucker. But yeah, it's like the Sons of Anarchy game I've always wanted. You have a bike and you ride around and there's zombies. It looks to be less shagging in it though, which is a bit...
I just worried for it. I mean, it just feels too late. They can't bring too much to the genre of zombie games, can they?
I don't know. World War Z is doing all right.
Well, it's doing all right, but to be honest...
It's a double A game.
Is it a double A, is it?
Yeah.
But the thing is...
It's not as expensive.
Okay. But I just wonder if there's any space for that now, if it's something that actually people want. Because to be honest, I can't see myself being into it now. When it was first announced, yeah, maybe, but like it just feels like it's a bit too early.
It just really strikes me as The Last of Us, because you have to be obviously with like massive hordes of zombies.
To be fair, it was probably started at the same time. They're going, oh yeah, let's do that, because games take a few years to make, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, basically what I want is a biker gang game that's not Road to Hell Redemption or whatever it's called. Just like, I want a game where I can be with my biker brothers, riding my bike, shooting other bikers and police, and being the bad guy, and like fucking all the biker buddies, and that's what I want. And yeah, we've never sort of really gotten a game like that.
No, I suppose we haven't. I mean, I suppose the closest in ethos is probably GTA.
Well, yeah. You had the Lost and the Damned, didn't you?
Well, what I'm saying about GTA is in GTA 5, you had that, like, towards maybe 3/4 of the game in, you had that synergy between those three characters. That's what I mean by it.
Well, no, you did sort of have that where it was Trevor and his crystal meth empire. That was kind of more.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's got elements to it. And of course, Trevor waking up when you go back to him as a character and he's in a dress on the beach and everyone else is dead around him. Those kind of shits and giggles were great. So.
Yeah, but you had I think it was Lost in the Dam for that as well, which was more biker gang orientated, in fairness.
Don't think I played that.
No, I didn't either, but it was, you had, what was it, The Ballad of Gay Tony was the other one?
Mm-hmm.
And then you had The Lost and the Damned, and basically it was based on like the guy who Trevor stomps the head in the main game.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just got to mention the Trevor violence and you remember.
Yeah. Basically, I played 90% of that game as Trevor and only did the other two when I had to. Because Trevor was fucking the bomb. And seeing the actor in other things afterwards is just such a joy.
I don't know. I kind of like I was going through like Amazon Prime on new releases, and he was in one.
He was in Better Call Saul as a bit part, and he was in The Walking Dead as well.
Yes, because The Walking Dead is awesome.
I've just getting started on Series 8.
Yeah, I'm lucky.
And yeah,
I gave up on that shit in like season 2, man.
I don't know. I still kind of like it. I'll see how it goes for season 8. I've heard it's not very good, but
have any of the last few seasons been?
Yes, when Negan shows up.
Yeah, well, I remember you saying like, "Oh, yeah, he's too small."
Yeah, but you'd have to get like Dave Bautista with stilts on to be like a proper representation of Negan.
They should have just blackwashed him, and Michael Clark Duncan would have been perfect if he wasn't dead. Like they did with the Kingpin in Daredevil.
Yeah, I mean the Kingpin in Daredevil was great.
No, not D'Onofrio. I mean the movie.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay.
To be fair, if you've ever watched the director's cut, which is very hard to get hold of, but so much better.
I do hope your recording's okay, because you do keep on cutting out.
I'm sorry.
It's not you. I think it's just recording, but I think it's going to be okay. So if you guys at home listening to us rambling on, hopefully he's not cutting out and sounding even less intelligent than he normally does.
That's not possible. I'll never join you.
Oh, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I don't really care about most games. I just want a new Infamous.
Really?
Yep. New Infamous game, please. Sucker Punch, get on with it.
Yeah, I don't. I really like the first Infamous. I like Second Son.
Yep.
But I couldn't get on Infamous 2.
Well, you had the fucking cattle prod thing, didn't you? In the second one.
Well, no, it was like the whole sort of like, oh, do this while 400 bad guys attack you at the same time kind of thing.
I looked over it because I love the series, I love the franchise. It needs more love, it needs more games.
Yeah, it does need more games. I think it's a really interesting universe they've created, and with like all of the varieties of powers and stuff, I'd like to see. This is not a good game I'm about to mention, but it is a passable game, and it does illustrate my point. X-Men Destiny.
Okay.
So basically, you could pick like of 3 characters, and then you could pick different powers for the characters, and then go have your third-person action game. So I'd like to see something about that where it wasn't like, oh, I'm this conduit that has this power, or I'm a conduit that gave any power. I like to actually be able to pick.
Yeah, I just think they did such a great job with the game and using electricity in a fun, interesting and creative way. It doesn't have to be someone with electricity powers or fire powers or, like it just
concrete powers. He's done my pat. Yeah, he did a good job.
That was stupid. Like I can get the other ones like neon for that kind of digital electric look.
No, I'm not
you
a
had
fan.
the hacker guy with like digital stuff going on.
Yeah, video dragons and angels.
Yeah, and then you had the smoke guy, Delsin. So that was fine. That was great.
Well, no, Delsin only got the smoke originally, and they got all the other ones. The Steve Austin sounding motherfucker at the start.
Yeah, but I mean, as coal was electricity, I mean, you could have so much more done there with today's sort of power and graphics and ability. Just please make it, mate. Come on.
I'd like to see one with pheromones as their power, like Spider-Woman.
Well, to be fair,
you don't actually have any offensive powers. You seduce your enemies into doing what you want.
There's so many games that you probably already have like that, Lee. Let's be honest.
Well, City of Heroes, but that's not on anymore. When you're like the mastermind.
No, I want an Iron Man game as good as Spider-Man, and I would love to see some decent but unknown or relatively unknown superhero getting a chance to have a decent game.
Iron Man has just had his turn at bat. For fuck's sake, did you not play Anthem?
Unfortunately, I did. and on that point of Anthem, as more facts come out about the whole fucking shebang, and I did my little rant at BioWare, they should be holding their heads in fucking shame.
Especially with what they're planning to do with Dragon Age 4.
Fuckers. Absolute fuckers. I mean, it's just, I mean, I don't say that at the people working on the games, and that's got to be clear. I'm talking about the management who are too busy looking after themselves and their boss, or their boss being EA, to not actually care about making a decent game. Because the actual concept idea, when they started out, apparently, I mean, when that was explained to that article, I think it's through a Jason Schreier article on Kotaku.
It always is.
But that seemed to be such a great concept with really cool ideas of how the game would like become a thing, and then they've just gone, well, no, but we can't monetize that, so that's not going to happen. And
yeah, but I don't. EA have like kind of changed their tune, and this segues nice into something else I wanted. In that Star Wars Fallen Order Jedi, I said those words out of order, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
Apparently, that is going to be the Star Wars game we actually want. I don't trust them, but...
Well, they've made a selling point on the fact that they're not going to be putting microtransactions in it. Well, you're the ones that's pretty much made it into the big fucking problem it is. So, what? And now you want to be the good guy? Fuck off. Literally, go fuck yourself, EA.
This is the problem I have, though. It's like...
It's not a selling point not to be a dick, is it?
I totally get where you're coming from. And like, I partially agree.
But
I mean, for years we've been saying to EA, we want a single player Star Wars experience where it's story based and there's no microtransactions. And they're doing it. And we're still moaning at them.
We're moaning at them because the way they've portrayed it as we're such good guys, look what we're going to do. We're not going to make you have to pay for microtransactions. Well, of course not. That's your fucking choice.
No, I totally get that. But like at the end of the day, they still got years left on their Star Wars license, and if they actually given us a game that we actually want, okay, it may be like an outlier, but I'll take that.
And that's what they're banking on, Lee. People like you that will buy it no matter what.
I bought Battlefield 2, you can fuck off.
But I have a serious concern. I mean, usually when these things about rights, or owning rights to do stuff for things, you know as well as I do that if you don't do something in a certain period of time, you lose the rights, yeah?
Yeah, but look at what they've done so far. They've done, what, 2 games?
To be fair, that's true. They have just done Battlefront 2.
And, like, you know, if you look at the history of Star Wars games before they got the license, the Star Wars games were coming out of their assholes.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't make... it really incenses me about... The fact is, they might not... They'll be toeing around the whole concept of microtransactions. I mean, even in the industry now, they don't even call them that. They call it... What do they call it? Renewed user spending or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And
I think revenue is in there
that's
somewhere.
It, revenue spending something. But they've basically 1984'd it and changed the fucking language to make it more palatable to investors, and people go, oh yeah, I've heard about microtransactions. Nobody likes those, do they? Oh, don't worry, it's recurrent user spending. That's it. That's what it was.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, well, what they'll do, and I'll put this in as a prediction. What they'll do is they'll take the game, they'll sell you the game. There'll be some element of a season pass or a bigger, chunkier purchase inside the game, or they'll provide this is another classic they might try. So they'll give you the base game, and they'll do traditional DLC. So they'll take it back a notch. So there won't be microtransactions, but if you want a full experience, you'd have to buy those DLC packs.
Well, it depends. I mean, I'm fine with DLC as long as it gives you a good chunk of the game.
But you need to have a game to start with.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So you need to have a fully featured game in place, and then you like it, and you'll say, yeah, well done. I enjoyed that. You didn't fuck me over. Brilliant. That was exactly what I wanted. And then they're like, well, do you want to play some more of that? I'm like, yeah, go on then. I'll drop you a tenner for that. No problem.
Yeah, and I think, we're planning to do some reviews in the coming weeks. So anybody wondering where our reviews have gone on certain games, it's coming. But one of the games we will be reviewing is Division 2. And without ruining the actual review and in-depth stuff we'll go into, I'm saying it like it will be in-depth. That's funny. But the product they delivered was a feature-filled game. There was no day one patch to fix like loads of issues. Or if there was, they weren't big issues to fix.
Yeah, I think any
it was
game
a finished game
right now needs to release a contained experience that's polished and not a piece of shit on day one.
Yeah, I mean, Anthem, for example, it's still, it's nowhere near going to be finished in a finished state. I mean, there was a roadmap, which is another fucking phrase I hate, but there was a roadmap of stuff that was happening in April. And I think mid-April, none of it had been delivered.
Yeah, that gets on my tits as well. It's like Epic Store has a roadmap. In year 3, we're going to have a basket.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, bless them. But I do think that with Anthem, it's clearly like, if we keep telling people things are coming, they'll wait. They'll be okay with it. And that's not going to be the case for much longer. I think... what was it? Something like 60% of users have disappeared now.
Yeah, but the thing
which is usual after a game starts. But
I'm going to view this like I view the first Division game, for instance, in the fact that, okay, I'm not enjoying myself on it, so I'm going to stop playing it, but I still own it, and as long as I don't have to pay for any of the sort of subsequent updates to it, then I might log in a year's time, and it might be a totally different experience, and I might actually get on board at that point.
Yeah, the difference was with the Division 1, it was a finished product. I mean, it was buggy and had problems, but it was finished.
Yeah, queuing for the fucking terminal that I had 20 minutes to spend on it in the morning of its release, and I was queuing at a fucking thing because I couldn't get through the players because everybody was a solid object.
Yeah, there was that, and the bullet spongy and the weird kind of loot drop stuff situation and everything else. But we'll go into a proper review at the time. But it's to me, it's a more finished game.
He means of the second one.
Yeah, well, the first one was a product. It wasn't necessarily in the same state. Yeah.
Interesting fact. I spent more on props for that review than any other.
Really? That's interesting.
Well, yeah, I bought hats and knapsacks and shit like that.
It was a good skit, to be fair.
Oh, and elbow and knee pads which I could barely walk in.
Yeah, that was funny. That should have had a behind the scenes footage. Yeah, but yeah, so it's going to be an interesting couple of months in terms of games, I think, because the big hitters have now kind of been released in the types of Anthem and Division 2. Mortal Kombat has come out today. Yep. I haven't played it yet, but
I've had about 15 minutes on it.
So first impressions without going into review?
Ronda Rousey is not annoying me applying the voice of Sonya Blade. It doesn't sound like her.
Good to hear. I think it's important. You know, is it a drastic departure from the last one?
I'm not sure yet. I can't work out how to do X-ray moves. It comes up. I haven't done all of the tutorial. I've just done like, oh yeah, this is how you move. This is how you hit. This is how you block. Done that. But it's like when you get them down to like a red belt, they do like finishing move or death move or fatal move or one of those, and it's like L2 right to, but it turns up on their side. Oh. So I'm like L2 and right to, and then it's doing nothing. So I'm like, well, how do I do this? I should probably play the rest of the tutorials and fair.
Well, hopefully you won't find it to be an absolute crock of shit, and it'll be.
Well, it's probably got the same gripe I have with all Mortal Kombat games, in that you can't do fatalities during story mode.
Okay, it might be that, yeah. Until you've unlocked them.
No.
As in progression of the story.
Whenever like you knock off their last bit of energy in story mode, if you're playing like a versus game or an online game, it goes finish him, and you do your fucking finisher. But in story modes on them, they just like slump to their knees, and it's going, you win, and then it goes onto the cutscene. You're like, yeah, I know I wouldn't actually kill them because they have to be there for the story, but you know, I always want to end a fight with a fucking fatality.
Yeah, that's kind of what you play Mortal Kombat for, really, isn't it? It's the heritage. But if you guys are interested in Mortal Kombat Heritage, there's a guy doing some videos. I can't remember the name of the channel, but he does a kind of retrospective look at the history of Mortal Kombat games in like 4 or 5 parts. Fantastic series, really good content.
Oh, is it 616?
Yes.
There you go. I remembered something.
He has 616 in his name. Yeah,
he's got a beard and a beanie. And he does wrestling games as well.
It's like MK Fan 616 or something like that. But have a look. Really, really good to watch that, because if you're a kid of the 90s, then you will definitely remember Mortal Kombat, Mortal Monday, and Mortal Kombat Tuesday. Do you remember that? No, it's Sonic Tuesday.
I've got it because I'm a subscriber. It is 616 Entertainment.
Okay.
There you go. And he's a bloke with a beanie and a beard. He does
go check him out.
Big ass videos. He's really good.
Yeah. So that's a nice place to leave it today. I think we've had quite a positive podcast this time.
Yes, we talk about seagull erections.
Yeah, we bring it down straight away by reminding everybody of that. But I think we've had a nice, constructive, friendly conversation about gaming, rather than going off on tangents about what we're watching on Netflix. Yes,
and to be fair, I need to get back to Claire. I mean, the way I left her in her bondage gear with her hands clasped behind her back and psychically using her gun, she needs help.
Oh, God. Oh, please don't show me a picture of that.
I'm going to send you a picture of that.
I can't believe you're ruining Resident Evil.
No. Bondage makes things better.
Okay. Well, you're a lost hope, and I've just reminded you of, Claire and boobs. So I think it's probably a good place to leave it.
I have the nipple rings.
Please leave us a comment down below if you think he can be saved. And definitely if you got this far, well done you.
Yeah, well done. I'm not going to get this far when I go and view it. I'm just going to do it, bye. I remember all of this.
But yes, guys, if you have got this far and you do want to keep supporting the channel, drop us a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell to get some notifications of future content. And
you better watch my vampire video on Wednesday, or I'll come for you all, both of you.
I really hope that cut up to pieces like it sounded like it, so no one heard your threat. But yeah, we have we have videos out every Wednesday and Saturday. My headphones are now broken because of Lee shouting. But yeah, Wednesday and Saturday.
From this end.
It's good content twice a week. Come and join us and let us know down in the comments down below what you thought of Lee's antics today.
My antics have always been the same. I'm a very sensual person.
Oh God, let's just end this. So guys, thanks for everything. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you again soon.
Take it easy, guys.
Okay, love you. Bye bye. Not you, the people.
Oh.
Bye. See ya.